We're live.
Hello. Yep. Hello, everybody. Welcome to our preview. It's our live cast preview called "What You Are Not: The Foundation of Standing and Being." So, what we wanted to do is we wanted to have just a fun conversation, and really look at what if everything you think you know about personal identity is actually preventing you from experiencing the harmony and fulfillment that you seek. And so we wanted today to be a conversation that really looks at our upcoming deep dive live cast that Betty will be leading on Saturday. That is going to dive into a radical metaphysical framework that turns conventional self-understanding upside down. So imagine, instead of focusing on who you think you are, this approach begins with understanding what you are not and why this distinction changes everything. So what we're going to look at is why the phrase "I am not" might be the key to genuine freedom and well-being, and the difference between being lived by principle versus living from personal concepts. How understanding yourself as reflection rather than source shifts your entire experience. And why this teaching suggests you already have perfect health, joy, order, regardless of what appearances suggest. So
I mean, I'm going to be discovering me beyond the look that I call me.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. Have to be
So
willing.
that's right. So it isn't about positive thinking or manifesting. It's about a fundamental shift in understanding the nature of consciousness itself. So we're going to look into and start the inquiry that we're going to be really diving into on Saturday about that'll address the practical questions that inevitably arise. How does this work in daily life? What about observable problems and challenges that I've got to deal with? And how do you actually stand in being? So anyways, and then I will put up a link for those of you who want to register for Saturday after, when it suits you to participate and come and play in that conversation this weekend. Just Saturday from 9 until noon Pacific time. So welcome, Betty. How are you?
Fine.
Okay.
Glad to be here.
Where shall we start?
We start at the beginning. Who am I?
Yeah.
What's going on when I look up and see this thing called Betty?
Yeah.
Is what I'm looking at or looking in the mirror at all there is? Is there something else? How do I know? And what would that something else be?
Yes, exactly.
And do I want to share it?
Yeah.
Maybe I don't want you to really know what's there. But in case I do, how do I discover what's there?
Right. Right. So how do we get started? Where do we look? What do we grapple with?
Well, we might start with what I'm not.
Okay. So with science, what we know is what we're not.
We're not two-legged animals.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. In that case, then whatever I am has this two-legged animal for a label.
Right.
Because here I am.
Right. But am I this?
Or am I not this?
That's right.
And if I'm not, then where am I?
That's right. So that's what there is to explore. So how would you start to look at that?
Well, I guess I start by recognizing that most people that know me don't really know me. They just know the Betty that they see.
Right.
And there may be a whole ton of other stuff that they have no idea about. That's probably true of everyone.
Right.
We only know the little bit that we encounter or that we care enough to explore.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole package, no. I don't even know my own whole package. I'm working on it, but I don't know it.
Right. But, for what does it practically mean to function in accordance with that which I am not?
Oh, well, what is it that I'm not?
Well, I guess I would start to look at um, all the circumstances and stuff in my life. Am I any of that? I'm not any of that. Um, I mean, that's the stuff that's there, but I'm not any of that, right? I mean, so where would
Well,
I?
without me, then none of that is, though.
Yeah, okay, okay, right.
So, so, so what is it that I'm not?
I'm not, well, I'm not this. I'm not that which I see in the mirror.
Okay. What else am I not?
I'm not my circumstances,
Whose are they?
mine,
Oh,
but I'm not that, am I?
well, it looks like you include that.
Yeah,
The human picture, anyway.
sure, sure. But is that, I guess then it's a question of saying, maybe it's a question of what's the limit of me? Do I end right
The
here?
question might be, is there a limit?
Right, exactly. So then what am I not? If I'm gonna define myself as a two-legged animal, is that all there is to me?
Well, what I look at is what would be the um, ultimate requirement for me to know that. What is it that I know for sure that nobody could shake me from that?
That I am?
Yeah,
Right. I know that I am.
you know that
Nobody can shake me
consciously,
from that.
yeah, you know that you consciously exist.
Yeah,
What that includes is up for grabs. How I would define that is up for grabs.
okay.
But I know beyond a shadow of a doubt of any kind that I consciously exist.
Yes.
Now, what I have that mean is a whole nother ballpark.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's conscious being present.
Okay. Yep. I get
Yeah.
that.
So what I am aware is that circumstances seem to arise around me and have some impact on the way I behave and the way I look and the way I dress and what I want to do and what I don't want to do. How about all that stuff?
Yeah.
So, so, so I look at that and I look at the question of who am I, and I begin to see that there's some complications in there.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of detailed stuff that I kick around and never take credit for, or don't want to take credit for either way.
Right.
So, so I keep revisiting the question, who am I?
Right. And if
And
we
go ahead.
and and what metaphysical science has to say about that
Yep.
is all is infinite mind, infinitely manifest.
Yep. And then I look in the mirror and say, now what does that mean?
Right.
Here I am. All is infinite mind. What does that mean?
Well, it means that life, principle, consciousness, or mind consciousness constitutes all that I see, hear, feel, taste, touch.
Yeah. And then right away, I know that the consciousness that includes everything is present right here.
Yeah.
audaciously calling itself Betty.
Right.
But it's all here, consciousness. And
And
I only have this little teeny window called Betty saying this is what it's all about.
yeah,
And somehow that little window begins to expand. And pretty soon I begin to get the idea that the consciousness that I claim I am, I think I'm conscious being. What does that mean? But that must be bigger than the view I had in mind when I said that, because consciousness seems to expand beyond what Betty consciously knows about.
mhm,
I can put it that way.
right,
So, how responsible do I want to be about who I am?
right,
I know that Mary Baker Eddy said, I am all, and the knowledge of aught beside myself is impossible.
right.
Well, I don't know whether I can step up to that. I am all. There's a lot of
Mhm.
responsibility in that.
There's a lot of freedom in that.
Tell me about that.
Well, if I am the world I walk through, then and if all is infinite mind, perfection functioning, then what is there to be at issue with?
Well, the issue is proving it. Those words are pretty glib.
Yeah.
So, what is involved in living that fact, if it is in fact a fact?
Acknowledgement.
Oh, I'd say there's a whole lot more than that, because
Well,
you've just acknowledged it. I haven't seen any living of it consciously aware. How do you live that?
you live that by being present in your life,
Yes. And what does it take to be present?
being at zero, at that 0 point.
What's the 0 point represent?
It represents acceptance, allowance, just being, allowing things to be just the way they are and just the way they're not.
Oh,
I
then you have to give up your concepts of right and wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be willing to accept or willing to see that it's all my own being.
Yeah, and that's a huge responsibility.
Right, because well, yeah, and then in my worst moments, I do have my judgments and opinions about the world and what's happening.
Out there that's not mine that I don't have to be responsible for.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Tell me about that. What occurs when you don't take responsibility?
I become a victim of that.
Yeah, and
That's
you
the
live your
effect of
life in service of something that isn't true.
right.
And the thing that isn't true is that there's something outside of my consciousness that dominates me.
Yep.
And I give it service. I give it service when I'm unwilling to see my own responsibility in the matter of every single moment I live.
Well, I give it all the life it's got by the way that
Everything
I
that comes to you, you give it the life it's got. So
right.
you have to pick and choose.
So the more I mess with it, or the more I resist it, or the more I fuss with it, the
What
more
is
of
it you're
whatever that
resisting?
is seems to multiply.
What are you resisting and fussing with?
All my judgments and opinions and circumstances and this and that.
Oh, well, that's different than what we had to going in the question. Who am I?
Okay. Okay. But it's all about if all is infinite mind and I am the world I walk through, then that's big responsibility, but big freedom.
Well, infinite mind is pretty large territory.
Yep.
Is that me?
I think Is that me? Is the me you're talking about Betty?
Oh, you mean there's two of me?
No,
Is that me?
all of it. If you are the world you walk through, then all of it is you,
That's right. Including what?
including all.
Including what?
The look.
Oh, the way it looks.
Yeah,
Oh, suppose I paint it green.
fine.
I'm responsible for that too,
Yeah, you painted it.
or not.
But it's all there. It's all of it. It's not it's like what you said, but I'll never forget. It's like what you said, all is all. It's not like all of a box of cereal. All is all.
There's nothing outside of that all.
Right. There's
It's
nothing
like
outside of it.
consciousness.
And so when we say, "Well, I'm willing to own this, but not that," you've made 2 of something, right? So then you've got something outside of who you be that
And that
you're
makes you a victim
yeah, yeah,
because you don't own it.
right. And but it's something that is yeah, it's like you've now limited all to all except that.
But not that.
Right, but not that. So the then that's what I am not.
Yeah, I'm wrangling around with this thing because I hear a lot of question when it comes down to really identifying who I am.
Mhm.
Because I'm this, but I'm not that. But this is fine, not that.
Right,
I would never do that and never say that.
right,
But I can say this,
right.
believe
All
this.
the those are all the rules for navigating the perception of our reality.
Yeah, for navigating what we're willing to own.
Okay?
I'm willing to own lots of goody things. There are lots of miserable things I don't want to own at all.
Right.
Do we get to choose?
I don't know. I think it's chocolate chews.
You think what?
I think it's chocolate chews.
Oh,
So I think you
oh,
always get to choose, but you may not have lots of options of what you're choosing, but choice is still present.
you get to choose to have what's present or not.
That's right. I mean,
That's
otherwise you're in an argument with it, right? But when I
And
look at
most of us are in an argument with it all the time, but we don't acknowledge that.
right, and what would
Every time
acknowledging
something is not you, you're in an argument with it.
right,
Every time you are willing to take credit for this, but never that, you're in an argument with your own being,
okay,
especially if you're aware or a student of Mary Baker Eddy who says, I am all, and the knowledge of aught beside myself is impossible.
right,
And scientific metaphysicians usually agree with Mary Baker Eddy. So then I think, it's all mine. So what do I do with that?
right,
How can I live myself with meaning and purpose and love and joy and freedom and compassion, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera,
yeah,
unless I see that all of it is my self-educating, self-discovering presence of my allness, my own infinite capacity to be all.
right,
Yeah, takes on a big bundle there.
right, and so then there's this and a lot of that to really grapple with that, we need to acknowledge that it's beyond a personal concept. It's beyond the concept of me as person or the world.
You know, but it's all part of our intuitive living. I think about, for instance, the compassion that parents have for their children,
Yeah.
or the love of someone for their husband or their wife or whatever,
Mhm.
or their dedication to a job that they enjoy fulfilling on with purpose. All of that is our own way of living individually, the responsibility for being whole, for being joyous, for being free, for
Right.
being abundantly present, for being compassionate,
Mhm.
for self-fulfilling in a job, for honesty and well-being in everyday living.
Mhm.
All of those things are demanding that uh, I wanted to say ingredient, but that quality of living that is present, maybe not being expressed right now.
Mhm.
And if it's not being expressed and it's part of my being, something's going to demand that it show up. And that's what everyday living seems to be about.
Right.
Having us show up fulfilling on ourselves, on the
Right.
altars that we are.
So how do you distinguish between acting from, say, personal concept or my will or, versus principle, acting from
Well, you're
prin
just talking about levels of perception.
okay, so say more
We
about
all operate at the level that we are open to.
okay,
And if we're at all alert, we recognize that the perception we had as 2-year-olds is different from the perception when we're 20
right,
or 50 or 23
right,
or 6.
right,
Yeah. So at every level of living from a human being point of view, there's the same demand to recognize who you are and own it.
right,
Yeah, be responsible.
right. So how would you describe reflection then? 'Cause
Reflection is it's almost a no-brainer.
okay.
All the hard work is done by the original. The reflection just smiles.
Is that like a shadow? Like, I think about Peter Pan and his shadow
No, it's like a reflection.
or reflection. Okay,
The responsibility for being is present, but as reflection, you didn't do that. You simply smile.
right. Okay,
You walk on. You have no responsibility for creating something that you can't create, but it's there. And
right,
here you are, the perfect image of that, the perfect reflection of that presence, that
right,
creative presence.
okay,
And you don't get to pick and choose.
right.
Done deal.
So, when we talk about perfect health, joy, order, regardless of appearances,
Yeah.
how how ought we think about reconciling that with observable suffering and discord? Like, when there's just strife going on, there's people pitted against each other and
Who says that?
huh?
Who
Well,
says that?
I see it. I see it in the news.
Oh,
I see
well,
it
then pay attention to your seeing.
ah, but isn't there a point at which it's like, well, I can either acknowledge it, I can look, or I can just say la la la, and that doesn't mean it's not there.
It doesn't mean anything when you say la la la. It
I know.
doesn't mean anything when you say I love it. Doesn't mean anything when you say I hate it.
Just allow it to be.
What so is all is infinite mind. And this is the way it looks. Oh, okay, on we go. Not, well, I'm going to fix it, change it to what I think it should be.
Right.
Or I'm not going to enjoy it now because it's not really that way in my world.
Right.
You can have it, but not me.
Right. So
all
if
of
it's
that personal intervention,
yeah,
all of that personal preference,
yeah,
all of that what I like and what I don't like stuff,
uh-huh,
it is not guaranteed to bring me joy or peace or tranquility.
because that's not where joy, peace, and tranquility live.
That's right. But I don't know that, so I'm going to play with it, you see.
Right,
But
okay, yeah,
discovering that, what I'm discovering is a capacity, if I can put it that way, that exists in all being, recognized or not.
mhm. So how does standing and being change our relationship to material circumstances or challenges that might be coming up in life?
Well, and in the sense of what we've been talking about, standing and being would be willing to allow it to be and
Mhm,
keep walking on,
mhm,
not become a fix-it machine, not become a reaction machine, but just allow it to be. Life is present, principle is functioning, love is present, life is present, allow it to be.
right,
Too often we get personally attached to our opinion about who we think we are.
right,
And we think our opinions make a difference. They don't. They just give us a problem because they stand between us and being free.
right. What does it mean when I see the statement, "You exist because of what you are not"?
Oh, well, that's that's like saying, what's God?
I'm not sure I got that question, but
Well, Mary Baker Eddy says that mind is the source and condition of all existence.
yeah,
She has mind as a synonym for God. So God is the source and condition of all existence.
yeah.
So if that's true, then what?
Then I am all.
Then I'm free as a breeze. I
Right,
have what I say I have.
right.
And so what you say is, yep, that's what you got. You said it.
Okay. So we define it every
And
day, every
that's what
second, every moment.
self-discovering is all about. You're defining
Right.
your own being.
Well, are you defining your own being or is your own being revealing itself?
Either way, it's all the same thing. It's just
Okay,
one thing going on. Being itself being.
right,
And this is the way it looks.
right. So who you are consciously being gives you the world you walk through. And what is being revealed about the nature of
It gives
experience.
you the experience of the world you walk through.
Okay, yeah, right. It gives me the experience of the world I walk through.
Yeah, because the world you walk through could be peaches and cream and you're living in dirty water.
Right.
But
Okay,
your experience of it is what your perception gives you.
right. So when we talk about the nature of awareness,
Yep.
and we have this whole I am the conscious identity of being.
Yeah, if you've got that as words or as experience.
Right. Well, it depends. Sometimes I have it as words, but sometimes I'm actually present to it.
Can you tell the difference?
Yes.
Okay, that's all you need to know.
Okay. And so is the goal to expand that awareness and that present, being aware of it, or is it um, to be able to acknowledge that?
Well, you're talking about something theoretical that doesn't really make much difference. If I were learning mathematics or arithmetic, a
Right,
little kid and I'm counting apples in the barrel and I figure
right,
out that 1 and 1 is 2 and 2 and 2 is 4 and all that stuff, building on a perception of what's present.
right.
what I'm doing is giving myself ammunition to take it all on.
Right.
But then I forget that it's just ammunition and I think it means something. Then I
Right.
get in trouble.
Right.
But actually, all is, I really think all is infinite mind. I think intelligence functioning constitutes my world.
Mhm.
And so it's focused, interestingly enough, on my experience of living.
Right.
It shows up as the way I live myself.
Right.
And that shifts all the time. So there's no way that it's a straight line right down the middle.
Right.
It's like here a little, there a little, here a little, there a little, and on we go. As we live ourselves responsibly, instead of the world did it to me, I'm ruined.
Right.
It's his fault. I can never straighten it out because he did it. How can I do anything about that? Do you know, it's all in being whole, being able to acknowledge your responsibility in everything that occurs for you as you.
Right.
Because being is a single, um, individualized expression of infinity.
Mhm.
And it's that way for each individual. And
Right.
there's no duplication, there's no repetition. It's always original, it's always fresh, it's always perfect and whole
Right.
and free.
Right. So to kind of underscore some of what we've been talking about as we kind of call it, kind of come to the end of our live stream time.
We'll talk about some more the next time.
Exactly. But that's this Saturday. So what I did want to say is that there is that live cast coming up, and it's this Saturday from 9 to noon Pacific. And if you want to come and explore and be in this workshop, you can go out to scientificmetaphysics.org/livecast-with-Betty, and you can check it
That's
out
complicated.
and register for it. So that's what's coming up. And that's what there is, if that's of interest. So this is going to be even more of that conversation. So, just consider what would change if you stopped trying to improve a personal self that doesn't actually exist.
You have to really agree that it doesn't exist before you're going to fuss with it.
Exactly.
Or
And
stop fussing with it.
and how do you distinguish between acting from divine principle versus personal will and force?
Yep.
Especially in real-time decision making and real time right there. How does that play? And
Yep.
if individual identity is truly reflection, what does that mean for responsibility and relationships? And
Yep.
those are the things that we're going to be diving into and really exploring so
Yep.
that you walk away with a newfound freedom around all of that. So that's what Betty's got in store for us. So that's what's happening. It's happening this Saturday. So again, we invite you to register and come and be in the inquiry and participate. And we look forward to seeing you there. Otherwise, we will be back on Tuesdays. And it may be a couple Tuesdays from now, but we'll be back. So hang tight and come and join us on Saturday. All right. We'll see you later.
All right.